Hi everybody, welcome. It's Lavinia. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you two of the art journal pages. And this is from the hashtag Polly's Fairy Core, hosted by Polly's Pretties Coloring and Crafting. And the two pages are for prompts number 17, Buffet of Sweets, and number 18, Fairy Home. I really love how the Fairy Home came out. I had an idea and put it to paper. So again, this is my little sketchbook that I am filling up just for this particular challenge or collab. So I'm going to go ahead and start with showing you the Buffet of Sweets. So for this particular page, I decided that I knew I was going to go to magazines and see what I can find as far as for pictures. I was actually kind of surprised. I mean, I didn't look through all my magazines. I have quite a few, especially Better Homes and Garden magazines. And I think maybe because the pictures of recipes or whatnot were too big for the page, and I wanted to put, a buffet of sweets. So I found this, which are just like some twinkling lights. So I decided to cut that out and put it here on top, of the page, as if everything else is going on below it. I found this picture, table outdoors. Here's a little lantern, ready for the guests to come and arrive. And I found this, and the recipe was actually something about, these are made out of cornbread. So I thought that was kind of an interesting sweet. So it has the cherries there as well. So I decided to also put a sticker of strawberries here, because strawberries and cherries and other type of fruit are also dessert. I found a box of chocolates, so I cut out a few and put those down. And interestingly enough, I found this chocolate mushroom, and I thought, well, I definitely have to add that to the page because of, the mushroom rings and the fairies and the mushrooms. So I thought that was just a find. So I went ahead and I glued that down. And then from the same sticker pack, I found this little squirrel holding a little acorn, and I thought, well, he's coming and bringing his own little sweets and treats to the buffet. And then of course I added the fairy and I put her on top of the mushroom. So this is my page for that. All right. Now the next one is Fairy Home. So I had an idea of what I wanted to do. So before I show you the page, I wanted to either use as the Fairy Home maybe a teapot or a mushroom, something like that, or a teacup. Getting the idea from, this sticker pack. And what I decided to do instead, or I shouldn't say instead, I decided to do the teacup. And this is one of the ephemera pieces from that sticker pack, or not sticker pack, but ephemera pack that I showed in an earlier video. And I used it to trace out the home. So here is the page. And I just love it. There's some pages in this book that I just want to jump in, and this is just one of them. So to give you an example, or maybe to demonstrate how I created this page is, now this is the gessoed pages. So I showed you earlier how I use my acrylic gesso to lay down the gesso up the pages. So this is one of those ones. So when I said I had a project in mind, this was the page I wanted to create. So all of this, besides the stickers, is done first on the flat gessoed page. So after I'm done coloring and all that, then I glue it down into the book. But what I did is I just took the teacup and I took my mechanical pencil and just traced around it. So, just traced around there. And now, because this part, is filled in, once I had it down here, I went ahead and, added that there. Trying to think what I did first. Yes, so I did trace that down first. Then I went in with my watercolor brushes. You've seen me use those before, and added in some of the blues and the greens. I added just a little bit of pink in some areas. And then what I did is I then focused on the house, and again with some of the so what I used for mainly for the background for the house were my Graphitint, Derwent Graphitint pencils. Let me see if I can get those. I have used them before in this booklet. So that's this pencil set, which again I bought quite some time ago. Hardly ever use them, even though I do love them. But not all projects that I make, I use these, but again, very glad to be using them and using my other art media for this particular collab. So these are those pencils that I think I showed you, that you just, I'm showing you on white paper. So you can use them dry, but they're graphic, or should I say they're graphite that have tint in them or color in them. And I happen to have here some water, my water brush. So you can actually see like that graphite in there, but I just love this. So once you add the water, you know, it dissolves, and just take that to your advantage. So just like that. So again, my favorite color, I have a few favorite ones, but this one here, Autumn Brown, I think is probably maybe my favorite, because I just love that red. So that there. So back to yours. So I used a variety of those different pencils to first lay down some of the gray of the teapot, some of the purple, the brown, and the green base for you know, for the trellis or the ivy there. I used it also to make these little steps coming down this way. And then I used my watercolor brushes, the Staedtler that you've seen me use before, and to come back in and add a little bit more color to, you know, to the ivy. I used them to make the trees. And then I went and I used regular color, well, I shouldn't say regular color pencils, but these are color pencils from Hobby Lobby that came with this holder. Again, sometimes I see things, I'm like, oh, that's cool, and I'm gonna use it for this, this, and this, and then I use it maybe for 2 days, and then that's about it. But again, got to use it. I actually didn't even put them in the holder, but just to show you how the holder works. So you press down here, and then you just add the pencil in there, or the lead, I should say, and then you can just use that, you know, to color. And the reason why I bought these were I wanted to do drawings in different colors as practices, and then go back on that drawing to fix it. So it's as if seeing where I could improve upon that drawing. So that was the reason why I bought these. But anyway, I used those pencils to then color in, like you can see a little bit of the purple there. Used it to darken the door edges, the teapot edges, and you know, just around here. And color in, I think I did use the pencils to do the wood boards and the frame, but that's about it. I didn't really use it to, you know, color in anything else on the page. It was just more to darken some of the areas and give it a little bit more definition. And then what I decided to do is, from that fairy sticker pack, I decided to add the fairy here. You know, she's sitting here on a little tree stump, and I wanted to add the little ladybug and the acorn here outside of the frame, and the feather, and then just a couple of more little flowers there just to give it that 3-dimension. And that's about it. So once I was done with this page, I glued it down. So I, put that in, and then I added the stickers. But I really like the way this page turned out, and we shall see now what the next prompt is, because that's where I ended up finishing at. Okay, so the next prompt is butterflies. That's number 19. I don't know if I'll do 2 at once. Butterflies. So I have to think if I want to do stickers, if I want to draw them, or maybe even use my die cut machine, because I know I do have some butterfly dies, and that might be nice to make it 3-dimensional. I also have, I've got a butterfly somewhere in here with the foil. So I have these 2 butterflies, or at least this one, but this one might be too big. I already used the opposite one on the one with the hydrangea, so I don't think I'll be using this particular butterfly, but I do have stickers and maybe the die cut, so I'll figure something out with that for that next prompt. But that's it for these 2 pages. So again, it's the Buffet of Sweets and the Fairy Home. So thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.